You're listening to CYOP, Create Your Own Pod Venture, APP.eal. This branching story follows your choices, changing as you respond to what the story places in your path. What's waiting for you at the end? Keep moving and find out. Now, where were we? After suffering from a rattlesnake bite, you've ingested plants which slowed the venom until the EMTs could arrive. After leaving the hospital, you've contemplated the next step in APP.eal's testing and, based on your financials, you've decided to invest more time in its development. You lean back in your chair. Money isn't something you can reasonably invest, so you're going to have to prioritize upgrading what you can with what you have on hand. A longer lasting power supply would be nice, but if you use the headset for important selected choices, you might be able to find investors once it's sharpened up a bit. You get to it. The first step you decide is optimizing its power usage. This thing drained its power supply unit after an hour-long hike with minimal use. You wonder if maybe you could cut down on its background operations, only have it focus on what the user is currently focused on. You hook the headset up to a terminal and begin clearing the headset's cache, shutting down processes, reorganizing its operational priorities. You spend most of the day in the garage, only bothering to leave your seat when you pick up a food delivery. Ever since starting your leave of absence from the university, most of your human interactions come from the folks who deliver your groceries, or meals, or junk mail. And you're okay with that for the most part. It's a rare happening when you meet someone you actually like to spend time with, and based on your recent relationships, it's not always a mutual feeling. Optimizing APP.eal's processing is a bit more involved than you suspected. Before you know it, it's the weekend and you've hardly managed to bash together a priority which reduces battery load by a whopping 3%. An extra 2 minutes translates to maybe 2 more requests if the user knows what they're already looking for. You lean back in your chair. Maybe it's better to turn APP.eal into something simpler. Maybe you're aiming too high. It's proven itself capable of locating specific objects in an environment. Maybe the predictive element is what's causing it to drain so much power. Maybe requiring it to also interpret not just what you want, but why you want it is too much. You shake your head. The entire point of the project was to minimize time spent making decisions, to better optimize the day-to-day mundanity in order to make more space for the thinking, for the creating. Compromising on its core project goals was the surest way to get steamrolled by the next person attempting something great. The rest of the month slips by and you don't leave your apartment much except to get a little bit of fresh air now and then. For the most part, you're at your workbench, tweaking lines of code, processes, seeing what you can reasonably cut without impacting the overall effectiveness of the project. After a few weeks, you put on the glasses and instruct it to show you how to upgrade it. You tell yourself to test APP.eal's ability to self-improve, but you know deep down it's because you've started to feel stuck. The headset whirs for a long time and then displays a long list of coding tweaks. You print the display and follow it, though it still only improves battery operations by an additional 8%. Not bad. You have yourself a bottle of wine that night. Most project managers would literally murder someone to improve efficiency by 11%. You reach out to local makers groups, people who might have been called inventors in a different era. You don't reveal too much about the project, there aren't any patents in play yet, and you don't want to throw the concept to the wolves just yet. There are a few responses which could be worthwhile threads to follow. One in particular suggests hooking the machine up to your nervous system so it can partially power it as well. For a moment you shy away from that. Hooking this machine up to your body feels wrong, like it'll somehow take over or mess with your senses. You've always been put off by science fiction about hooking machines up to the human body. Despite your own project, you always respected the barrier between flesh and circuit. It feels like the idea invites disaster. But then again, the barrier has constantly receded across human history. And the idea was simply to hook it up to the body as a power source. Aren't studies always revealing the human body as a more impressive power source than we previously suspected? And who knows? The machine-body interface might enhance the programming without requiring additional power. It's a relatively simple process. You already have the electrodes and interface ready. It's a matter of soldering the right bits and calibrating the right conduits. It's time-consuming, though you're nearing your 3rd month spent entirely indoors when the newest iteration of APP.eal is ready for a field test. You stop taking breaks from your work, not to watch TV or sleep or eat. For weeks, your primary drive is to finish this project. Without the cash to buy better parts, you have to optimize what you already have on hand. The headset looks much like the same as it did previously, though now there's an additional cradle which fits around the back of your neck as you wear it. You run the initial startup diagnostics and calibrate the algorithms and strap the glasses to your face. You affix the electrodes to your neck and temples and pause. Hopefully this is all worth it. APP.eal's drawn so much of your time and money, you'd hate to have a dud product on your hands. But more than that, you've isolated yourself. Maybe that's in part due to your relationship falling apart last year. It's always been your method to dive into work when your social life takes a hit, and there's never been a hit quite like this last one. But you'll have to worry about your social interactions later. Right now you have a product to test. You flip the switch and are struck by a sudden deep weariness as the glasses draw power from your nervous system. Whoa, you say. You take a drink of coffee you made earlier, hoping the caffeine will buffer your energy levels. Okay, time to find out what I need. You aren't sure if it's too general of a question, but it seems like a good control. Calibrating. The display reads for a moment, then it shows a route leading to your garage door. The electrodes against your temple grow warm, and you have a strong, sudden urge to follow the waypoint wherever it leads. Just because you don't know what you want doesn't mean the computer doesn't. It's been the first time in months you've left your garage and you shade your eyes from the sunlight. Has it really been that long? Someone walks past on the sidewalk past their garage, and the headset waypoint follows them briefly before it disappears. Then a car drives past and the waypoint drags behind it until the vehicle leaves your sight. Your stomach growls as you creep out to the end of the path. The sun is bright in the sky and you squint against its light. Okay, you look in both directions down the street. What do I need? The glasses whir and you feel dizzy as the headset draws power. Maybe the nervous system integration was a mistake. It seemed to be pulling a lot from your body. The idea was to supplement the power supplied, not supplant it entirely. You're about to turn back and reverse the upgrades when a waypoint appears in the distance. The icon wipes the rest of your thoughts from your head and you move in its direction. As you get closer, you realize it's a woman out on a walk. The waypoint follows her and the glasses show Integrate on its heads-up display. Integrate? What does that mean? You tried to reduce memory usage across every single instance of the program as you could, which meant trimming the device's onboard lexicon. Integrate could mean a lot of things. Is it saying you need to integrate the woman's company into your life? That seems reasonable. You've been isolated for so long, some level of human interaction would probably be healthy. Or was it saying you need to exercise? It's possible the programming indicates her walking instead of person. Sitting for so long isn't healthy, and with the hookups on your body, it's possible the headset is interpreting your vital signs instead of your thoughts. Your stomach growls again. Or is it telling you that you needed to integrate her material into your own being? After all, the human body is a machine and could be improved. Who's to say you couldn't improve yourself by integrating parts from another human? What do you do? If you integrate the woman's hardware, listen to episode 1.12, also known as hardware. If you integrate the woman's software, listen to episode 1.14, also known as software.